right. Hi, guys. Welcome back to the Boujee Buzz podcast, where we are redefining luxury for women ready to ditch the hard life and step into their soft states of being. That's the tag. That's the tagline. As you can see, not only do we have our first guest of the season, we've got our first guest of this new era and our first in-person guest ever.
Hi, y'all.
Ever. This is new territory. Now I feel like all my guests from here on out got to be in person.
I know, right? Like, you got to set that up.
I know.
Okay. Anything less than this is like...
Yeah, what we doing? So yeah, guys, this is like super exciting. So excited to have her on. But before we get into like more about Miss Erica and all that, you know, we got to do our Boujee Bite. So let's get into that. So, obviously, you know, it fresh into the New Year's. This is airing on January 12th. So, of course, there's always the New Year's resolution conversation and all that. And so I want to pose the question, are they played out? Like, what's your take on it, Erica?
That's such a good question, because I was just talking to my husband about this. I feel like people focus so much on the resolution and they forget that they have to leave things in the past.
Ooh.
Like, if you focused more on that, you would come into the new year with less baggage. But you're so focused on like adding on to your plate that you forget that you should have left some things in the past. That should have been your resolution. Like, let's fix the things that you didn't deal with last year. So for me, the new year, it's less about what do I want to do. It's more about what I want to leave behind.
That's good. So instead of adding, maybe it's subtracting some stuff.
Please, don't subtract. Yeah, I like subtracting things.
Yeah, I do like subtracting things too. Besides my money.
Yeah, let's not do that.
Let's multiply that. Let's skip adding. Let's multiply that. Okay, but we can subtract a lot of things. We can subtract some weight, and we can subtract
some mindset blocks, some habits.
We can subtract some men, girl, because
I can't subtract mine because I signed a
I
contract.
mean, don't subtract your man.
Nah, yeah.
I mean, well, if you sign a bad contract, then girl, do what you got to do to subtract that man. But she don't got a bad one, so don't, you know, she not gonna subtract him.
But yeah, like, you can subtract inconsistency in friendships. You can subtract laziness. You can choose to leave some words behind. Like, for example, I stopped using the word anxiety. Like, oh, I'm anxious. Or I have anxiety about that. I stopped using that last year. Because I'm just like putting it into it before I even get the actual anxiety. So that's what I focused on last year. Like, just leaving things behind instead of like trying to like add more goals, add more things onto my plate.
That's good, because I feel like also a lot of religions take on that rhetoric. Because if you think, I mean, I grew up deep in the church, and like every year in January, there's always a fast at the beginning of the year for each month of the year. It's like, you know, like 12 days, or sometimes, you know, depending on the church, maybe the whole month or whatever. And it's like they fast, and obviously with fasting, you always go without something. And so, I mean, it's kind of that same sort of logic, you know, to fast so you can create space for something else.
Can we talk about fasting real quick?
Let's talk about it.
2 seconds. I think that fasting, right? Because, right, you're fasting from your food, right? Mm-hmm. But the food in the Bible is the Word of God. What I was gonna say is that instead of fasting from food, fast from what you are feeding yourself, which is, what are you feeding your mind? So, like, you're supposed to be feeding your mind the Word of God and surrounding yourself with that. But right now, what we feed ourselves is our phone. We feed ourselves off social media. So, can we still eat, but, like, fast from our phones? Fast from social medias? Fast from people? I love fasting from people. That's my favorite way to fast, because it's like, sometimes you need to, like, not have other opinions, not have other thoughts, not have other conversations. Just, like, reset.
Oh, yeah. I mean... shout out to, there will be an episode later this season about Season of Silence where I talk about that.
I heard that one was good. I did.
I already recorded that one, so she heard a little snippet. Yeah, okay, I'm with that. And I also feel like, I don't know, around like, I feel like, I don't know, it's got, for one, people scared to make resolutions now because since 2020, everybody was like, yeah, this gonna be the year, and girl, it was not the year. I mean, maybe for some people it was the year, but for most people it wasn't the year. And so now people scared.
Everybody's scared.
Yeah, people are scared, but it's okay. Yeah, I love what you said about, like, you know, focusing on removing things versus like adding something else.
Yeah, I would say, y'all, I'm gonna give y'all a little challenge. Go to the dollar store, the dollar store. Get you a permanent marker. Write down on a plate everything that you want to let go of. Anything. Write it down on a white plate. Go to the dollar store, get your permanent marker and a plate. Write it all down there. I want you to tag Boujee Buzz Media right before you break it, or right after if you don't want people to read it. I want you to put it inside of a plastic Ziploc, and I want you to break that thing. And whatever was written there from 2022, or whatever you need to let go of, let it break and end right there.
Release it.
And tag Boujee Buzz Media. Let her see all the things that you
got. Let us see so we can repost
We need to see a bunch of broken plates.
Yes. Like the Greeks do.
I feel like we gotta break some more stuff. Like, I like breaking things.
Well, we should go to one of those places where you break stuff. I need to let off some aggression.
You're aggressive.
I can be. On that note, let's get into some Boujee business. Shout out to the sponsor of today's episode, Her Timeless Brand, which is the creative agency where strategy meets modern design. It is run by none other than our very own Chief Creative Officer, Erica Ortiz, who serves as the lead rebrand strategist and designer. Her Timeless Brand is designed for women of faith who want to increase their brand's visual value and give their audience the luxury experience they deserve. Signature offers include the Essentials package, which includes brand strategy, brand identity, mini social kit, and a customized 2-page website, as well as the Brand Refine Her package, which includes brand strategy, a photo shoot mood board, brand identity, 15 pieces of marketing material, and a customized 5-page website. Just an FYI, y'all, that Her Timeless Brand is behind the lovely logos, fonts, and social media aesthetic for Boujee Buzz Media, so you already know it's top tier, okay? You can visit hertimelessbrand.com to learn more. Thanks again to Erica and the HTB team for sponsoring this episode. Now let's dive right back in. All right, so let's get into it. So, okay, first, Erica, tell us about yourself. First of all, pause. I got these cards, y'all. Don't they look fancy? If you're watching this on the YouTube channel, they look so good. I did them myself. Fonts and logos by Erica Ortiz. Yes. Designed by me.
Hold on. Can we just pause and talk about, like, thank you for trusting me to do that, because I know this is your baby, and we're going to talk about this a little bit further, but, like, this is your child, and I've been wanting to get my hands on your brands for a minute, but I had to, like, let you do it by yourself. I had to let you, like, come when you was ready. So just thank you for trusting me.
I appreciate that, and the slight shade that was thrown. You. Okay, anyway. Tell us about yourself, because, like, there's so many people that be listening that don't know about you yet, but they're about to get hip to you. So tell us about yourself. Tell us about your journey to becoming this successful rebrand strategist, designer that you are today.
Okay, well, long story long. My name is Erica Ortiz. I was born in Dominican Republic. I came over here when I was 8 years old, so English is not my first language, and that was my number one, like, stopping point at business was, like, I know what I'm talking about, but I don't want people to think I'm dumb because of my accent and things like that. And that had me in a chokehold for a minute, y'all. And that just goes to show how much, like, your mindset will block you from success. Because while I was pregnant with my daughter, I was actually on maternity leave. I decided, you know what, I'm gonna start something, anything. I always had the skill set of, like, helping people creatively, being in design and strategy, like, being able to, like, see something and be like, okay, this will look much better placed here, and, like, product placement and design placement and things like that. So, I come from a family of entrepreneurs, so they always put me to work. But I didn't know that I could monetize my creativity. Ooh. I didn't know that. Nobody put me hit to that. It was just go to school, do what you had to do, whatever. So I did the things just to say I got a degree, and that's it. I was the first in my family to get a college degree. So whatever, I just did it to say I did it, and that's it. But once I graduated and got married and all that stuff, I'm like, this don't make no sense. This don't make no sense. Because I was seeing people my age that never went to college, never did anything, maximizing their skill set and being profitable in it. And I was like, there has to be something. There has to be an equation here that I haven't been told. So I had to figure that out. So while I was on maternity leave, I decided to, just take on a client. And that first client was actually my father. My mother then introduced me to someone. And it just so happened that person's husband was a millionaire in Boston. Oh. So we met up in Panera Bread. I didn't know he was a millionaire. And while I was there, he was like, I cannot work with you until you have an established business. So that same night, I Googled the name, and I just got to it because I was like, I'm not missing out on this. Like, I'm pregnant. I need to get it together ASAP. The very next week, I gave birth. Wow. So while I was on maternity leave, I was literally just figuring it out and just establishing what I wanted to do, how I wanted to do it. And I never went back. My job kept calling me back. And I'm just like, I'm sorry, but you're not going to catch me back at that place. Because I got a little taste of what it was to do something that I loved in my own home while being able to breastfeed my daughter and not miss any of the things that she was doing. I grew up without my mother, without my biological mother. So it was very important that I was present every single second. And I couldn't have been able to do that without, choosing to start a business and putting my all into it. There was no plan B. And I think that's what made it successful, is that I had nothing to go back to. Even though I had my degree and I had this 9-to-5 that I could have gotten back to, I made it so that there wasn't anything to fall back on. It was this or nothing. Wow. So 3 years later, I have been able to make almost $500,000 at this point, which is insane to me. I've never seen that much amount of money in my life. But yes, I'm able to live my life, travel. My kids are toddlers now. I have 2. And we literally just lived a soft life in real life.
No, for real. Literally, her oldest baby is in the room right now, living her best life, watching Netflix.
Yeah, and we homeschool her. So we homeschooled in the hotel for an hour, and now she's free for the rest of the day.
That's crazy. I didn't even know. I don't even think I knew the Panera story.
Oh yeah. He was like, Is either this or nothing? I was like, say less. I went home straight. LOC this, LOC that.
I need nothing else. Nothing else. You don't got to tell me nothing. That's crazy. Wow. Mm-hmm. Okay. That's great. $500,000, Erica.
Yeah. I don't know how.
I know how. That's the segue into this next question. So, before we get into how we met and stuff, because
that's a story.
We ain't going anyway. So, obviously, you were known. Anyone that knows Erica Ortiz, anyone that knows her timeless brand, they know that, not only, a lot of people say, faith-based business, faith-based entrepreneur, but I like to describe it as, faith-first entrepreneur. And so, I've heard a variation of this so many times, but, what role has God played in your brand evolution?
I like that you use the word evolution there because in 2020, I actually rebranded. So obviously I started the business out of desperation, out of rush, with no structure, foundation. So in 2020, I actually decided to take a step back for a couple months and realize okay, what am I doing? Because I saw it as being very sustainable. At this point, I was making 5 figures a month, but it wasn't consistent. It was just something that I was seeing here and there. So I was like, no, there needs to be a method to this so that I can figure out exactly how to make this recurring. So I decided to rebrand. And during that rebrand process, I surrendered my business to God. So I stopped trying to do all the things by myself. And I went to him. I was like, okay, what are we doing? who is this for? And of course, that came with a lot of convictions and self-analyzing. And the word that he gave me was refinement. And what he revealed to me was that refinement in a business has to start with inner refinement. It has to start with me choosing to overcome my mindset blocks, to overcome any hurdles, and choose success, not letting choose be or success be something that just happens to me by coincidence. You can choose to be successful. You can do the things. So faith without works is dead. So I couldn't just like pray on it and then like wait for it to magically appear. God is not a genie. So I had to put in the work. So during that rebrand, I took the time to analyze like, okay, who am I serving? Why am I serving them? How can I position my brand to be in a constant state of refinement for who it's for? And when people ask me, what's your strategy? How have you been able to do this in 3 years? All that, I can't tell you the strategy without giving you like that initial piece, which was surrendering it to him first. I had to give it to him because by my own might, I just couldn't make it happen. So any decisions that I make, my packages, the people that I work with, I can tell y'all a story about how I refunded $5,000 back to a client because God told me nope. So for me, making money decisions is very hard because I ultimately retired my husband. I got my mom from the Dominican Republic after not seeing her for 15 years. So now I'm taking care of myself, my husband, my mother, 3 adults, and then toddlers. So making money decisions can be scary, and that's when the enemy gets you because he's like, okay, I see you're scared about something. Let me make it so that you feel it's not at arm's reach. But what God has revealed to me is like, I'm the wealthiest because I have him. And I have access to a lot of wealth because of him. So that's why I let God lead. And I'm not scared to say it on social media. I'm not even scared to say I work only with faith-based women. I don't need your business to be faith-based, but I need you to understand that we're going to talk about God throughout this process.
Yeah. And I love that you said in terms of like access to wealth and not just rich, because wealth encompasses so much more than just money. When it's like a mindset thing, it's a soul thing, and then the money comes eventually. But
very big in spirit.
Oh yeah.
Like I can walk in a room, and I wasn't always this confident. Like I could walk in a room and things shift because you attract certain people.
Yes.
And you don't have to be ashamed of that because I worked hard, like, and when I'm saying working, I'm not talking about like in my computer. I'm talking about like in prayer, in submission, in, taking those bad habits out of myself.
Yeah.
And finding the harmony between me and God and what that looks like in every area of my life, not just business.
Man, talking about like spirit shifts and like attracting like wealthy people, and not just monetarily, but how we met. We're gonna try to keep it cute.
Very cute because
we just got through talking about God.
Yeah.
Oh dear. What's your take? How would you describe that? How we met?
Well, first let's talk about the fact that people use God as a selling point.
Yeah.
And there's one thing to do business with God and your business reflecting God, and there's another thing to use it as a selling tactic. And I feel like that ultimately was what got me in that room where I met you, was that selling tactic. And once I was in the room, you gotta keep it real cute.
I mean, keep it cute, but keep it real though. Like,
I just felt like it wasn't the spirit of God in the room, especially because of how certain people were acting. There was a sense of urgency that God doesn't put in your heart. And it wasn't urgency like, I gotta do this. It was urgency to like do it before you ask God about it.
Yeah, with shame attached to it.
Right. And we can't move in a way where where that's the case. And I noticed in a very specific instance, because we have a mutual friend that it was just like this weird desperation to like be part of that. And I knew it wasn't God. Like, and you know, he revealed it to me, and then I was waiting for other people to feel the same. And then once we talked, it was like, okay, yeah, we're on the same page about it. But you know, we were there for a reason, because we met each other and we've been able to like really help each other, like just grow as just like business owners, and just as people being able to like look at business in a certain way, and also even take that situation as a learning point to be like, you know, this is how we don't want to do things, because it looks very pretty on the outside, you know. Everything was perfect. When I tell you everything was planned, everything was cute, the whole conference was amazing, but the Spirit of God was not in there, but the Spirit of God was being sold.
I mean, I'm going to let her leave it at that, because if I start talking it ain't going to be keeping it cute no more.
Yeah, let's not do that.
So, there's that, those silver lining. We found each other.
Yes.
And we got clarity, you know, even if it's not in the way that you might think it comes about, as long as you get something out of it, that's what matters. So, all right. I mean, refinement obviously is a big theme with you, girl. And so I would like to know how you would define brand refinement, and tell us, how do entrepreneurs know when they're ready for it?
Okay, so the word refinement is, when you're refining a diamond, you have to like crush it, you have to burn it, you have to like hit it, throw it, you have to like do a lot of things to it, because you're trying to get to like its purest form. What is the real core to this? Are you just selling wigs just to sell wigs? Are you just selling lip gloss just to sell lip gloss? Or is there an underlying problem that you're solving within your business? Refinement, specifically referring to brands, is getting down to the root of it. Like, who is your target audience? What is your brand voice? What problem do you solve? What's going to set you apart from everybody else selling the exact same thing that you sell or offer? So when it comes to brand refinement, it's about just tearing down all the cute stuff. And because that's what we jump to first, the logos, the colors, the graphics, the website, we jump to all that stuff first, and we forget the core. And it's essential that to build a strong brand, you have a strong foundation. So refinement means putting your business through an intensive state of core. Like, what is the core of this situation? Why is this here? And a lot of the times when I work with clients, they end up like reinventing their entire business model, because they're like, okay, now that I give thought to it, the core person that this serves can better benefit from X services or X products versus what I already had planned, because you're taking the time to like go back to the beginning versus starting backwards with all the cute stuff. If you're ready, I would say that, do you feel stuck? That's the first question I always ask people, like, do you feel stuck? Because once you figure out that you are not moving, you're stagnant, then you can figure out, okay, there's something not working here. And then people's first instinct is to go into marketing. Like, oh, let me post more. Let me run some ads. Like, let me do these things. But those things do not work if you're not reaching the ideal person. So if you want to figure out if you're ready for refinement, the first thing I would say is analyze yourself right now. Like, are you happy? Do you feel stuck in your brand? And are you ready to scale? Because usually what happens is that when you take it back to the root and you establish a good foundation, you're actually able to create something really amazing and able to increase your pricing. You're able to offer more services and therefore appeal to a new audience if that is what you want to do. So that's the first question I ask people. Like, do you feel stuck? And then we work around from there. Like, okay, what does being stuck mean to you? And where do you feel like you lacked in at the initial phase of your business?
That's good. I hope y'all caught that.
Write some notes, y'all. I hope you guys have a notebook.
Write it up. So, let's get into the next question. Oh gosh.
What?
Because I already know you about to get into some people. What are some of the biggest brand design do's and don'ts you've come across?
Plenty at this point. 3 years later. And y'all, it's so many because it's like we go into business thinking that it has to be what we like. That's the number one thing.
Oh, yes.
It's not about you. It's about who is buying this thing, who is booking this service. When we make everything about us, we forget that we may not even be in our target audience. The owner of Fashion Nova is a white man. Like, what does he know about curvy women of color?
Yep.
Everything. He knows everything about them because he has studied them. So he's able to create this multi-million-dollar brand due to establishing that core, that foundational phase. So number one is understanding that your brand is not for you. It's for the person receiving this information. Number one. Number two, the graphics, y'all. Like, people jump into that, so that's why I'm going to talk about it. Don't even talk to me about glitter. Like,
wait a minute, because for the visual, I'm about to, like, insert the clip that she posted on her. When I say this triggered the girls in her comments, I was cackling. Y'all gonna see it if you're watching this on YouTube.
No glitter. Because, like, glitter is ghetto. Like, let's just be honest. Glitter is ghetto. If I see glitter on your stuff, I already know something about your brand. I don't even want to deal with it.
If it's for, like, little girls, sure. Like, the little ponies and princesses and stuff.
But even they don't have glitter. Like, Claire's... I'm talking about the branding. Like, the actual logos and things like that. There's no glitter in there. You may include glitter in your marketing. That's a whole other topic. Branding specifically, I want y'all to send me in my DMs a multi-million-dollar company that has glitter and that didn't use influencers to make that $1 million. So send it over to me, y'all. So that would say cartoon logos of yourself. Like, let's make that make sense, because it's like, how are we gonna scale with a cartoon logo of yourself? So that means, like,
make
a brand.
If it's gonna be a cartoon logo, I feel like it should be centered around whatever the. And I automatically, when I see cartoons, I assume, like, childlike.
Yes, and it has to make sense. What I don't want to see is a cartoon logo of yourself, and then you're holding a bundle, and you're holding a blow dryer, and you're holding a comb. Let's not do that part.
Wait, I'm cackling because Jasmine is over there in the corner.
Jasmine, don't distract me.
I'm cackling because she over there in the corner and she about had a spasm just now when she heard that. I feel like, to that note, somebody who does cartoon logos well, you know the brand Hello Black Child or whatever? Mm-hmm. I think they do it. She does a good job. The YouTuber who started that brand.
Yeah.
I barely seen another successful one yet.
That's what I'm saying. But, like, what is that targeted to? It's targeted to Hello Black Child is the key word here.
Black children all in the...
Yes, that would appeal to a child. Because the thing is, look at the marketing, like, psychology of it. And if I'm in the store, I'm in the store, right? And I see something that I was like, oh, that looks like a cartoon. Guess what? I'm going to run to my mom and be like, Mom, look at this.
Yeah.
So I'm grabbing it. And then your mom's going to pick it up. So then you go from there. But, like, a grown adult is not going to find cartoon logos super appealing. Can that work for your business? Of course. And I'm going to pray for you on that. But specifically the women that I talk to and the women that want to work with me, we're looking at scalability. Mm-hmm. And the name of my business is Her Timeless Brand. I'm not trying to create a brand that's only going to be cute for the next 5 to 10 years. I want it to be cute 100 years from now. I want it to be something that you can put on a trash bag and it'll look cute. YSL can put it on anything.
Yeah.
Can put it on anything. They can put it on a trash bag. They can put it on anything and it's going to look beautiful.
Some of these designer stuff do be looking like trash bags, and that's a whole nother.
But it sells because the foundation is there. They're talking to a very specific person that finds that stuff appealing. So that would be my top things. But if you take anything away from this question is consider that you are not the customer.
Yeah.
How would they want to see things?
I would also like to throw an honorable mention: the cursive fonts that can't nobody read.
everybody can't read cursive though. Like,
they
let's
don't even teach them in schools anymore. That's a travesty for real. They really should go back to doing that. But I mean, I don't like some cursives look good and they're legible. It's the cursives that are not legible. Like you can't understand like what the words are. Yeah. And for visually challenged people like us to hear,
it don't add up.
I will also like to put myself on blast because for my first brand, specifically around colors, child, my favorite color used to be like this bright, like the aqua blue, like the bright, very vibrant. I'm going to insert a picture. Y'all know, I mean, it's still technically like the colors now of like TMP, the Melanin Perspective, my first brand, because I haven't like rebranded yet. But, man, that was a moment that I once again, like what she was talking about with picking your like favorite colors. If your favorite colors fit the vibe, then that's one thing.
Right.
If they don't. I mean, it wasn't that it didn't necessarily like fit the vibe, but it was just not. I shouldn't have chosen that for a brand color. Because I always ran into issues with like, because it's like when I wanted to do like physical products, like it wouldn't print because it was a digital color, and like things like that you just don't think about. Right. Like the graphics, it was hard to be like legible because it was so bright. Like even with someone with 20/20 vision, it's not easy on the eyes. Like, so that is this has been your moment with Khala. So yeah, it was crazy. Okay, so you were kind of referencing it at the beginning, but you've definitely played a big role in Boujee Boss Media. You're basically our brand designer on like contract. Like you're like our resident brand designer.
I want a cool name though.
Like a resident brand designer is so
like
cool.
Brand and creative. I don't know.
Right, like. We gonna figure it out.
I just want a cool name, you know?
We gonna figure it out, and it's gonna be on the website.
Yes, like put my picture, everything. Like I'm part of the team. Like I want.
You really are. She really is a part of the team. like legitimately, she really is. She designed the logos and stuff. So okay, so yeah, you designed our core brand design concept. So just because we giving credit all around, this is the main logo here. You guys know this logo by now. She designed all of our logos, all of the fonts, which I've never heard of these font names until she sent them to me.
Can you insert like your mood board right here, right on top of me?
Yeah, like I'm just gonna do it like
slide it right over my face.
Slide it right over. I'm no insert Jasmine's reaction to the mood board. I have that on video, and so. Yeah, did all of that, chose the fonts. I told her I wanted a black, white, and pink theme, and she chose like the feisty, bold, hot pink and all of that. And she did like our social kit for us, so like a lot of those base like design templates like she put together because I got a little eye with a base. When it comes to blank canvases, that's not my ministry. I need something to work with. Yes. That ain't my domain, but that's her domain. So I said, this division I got, what you gonna do?
And honestly, I didn't even need all that. Like, I just needed to ask like 2 or 3 questions, but I was waiting for her to like give me access. But you gotta give. And honestly, like sometimes when working with friends, like it makes me a little bit nervous because like I want it to be so perfect for my friends and things like that. But I already knew, like, I had a vision for the brand. Like, as soon as we were talking about it, because you gave me a rundown of, like, the next 3 years, y'all. Like, this girl's a planner, okay? I was like, okay, cool. Like, I see where this is going. I see what the purpose of this is. And this is so much bigger than what you guys are seeing right now. Like, this is going to be such a huge project. Are you talking to them about it at all, like, throughout the podcast?
I mean, well, it will have been launched by the time this.
No, ends. I'm saying like the bigger.
Oh yeah, that all of that's gonna be like I'm covering everything in the documentary. Like it's all like the whole gamut of it.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Okay, because I don't want to be out here spilling the beans, and the entrepreneur. I mean, the CEO hasn't even said anything about it. But yes, I was just waiting for her to give me some access. But It was so good. Like, I was obsessed with it. Like, you were really gonna hurt my feelings if you didn't like it. So when she loved it, I was like, and then she waited a little minute to respond to me. I'm like, oh my God, this girl had me stressed.
I was on pins and needles waiting forever. And then I get caught up at work because I'm like always in meetings for work. And then I check my email and I see that she sent it 5 hours ago. And I'm like,
stressed
and
for those 5 hours.
I literally was in a call when I saw that, and I'm like, please get off this call.
Like,
I want to know. I want to see it now. Like, yeah, no. It was like I couldn't have, conceptualized that in the way that she did. And so it was crazy. So like, I mean, I guess you've already started talking about it, but like, what's it been like collaborating with me on this? Like, it's always because I'm a little bit off. So
what does that mean?
It means that like just the way that my my mind sometimes is like the things in my head, they're just the way they form sometimes. Yeah. And obviously like this vision is like not like the normal thing, right? And so what's it been like working with me on this, like from your vantage like point, and like just like seeing how things have been coming together with Boujee Media, like from behind the scenes? Like,
well, like I mentioned, like I know the bigger goals to this because I've heard it. We've had check-ins every single month to kind of just recenter ourselves and be able to like bounce ideas off of. So I know a lot of things about like where this is going. So when I got a handle on the visual foundation of the brand, I was really like just hoping to take a load off of your shoulders, because you can have all these ideas on the background, but if it's not represented correctly, it just doesn't come across, because that's like your name tag, like your business branding is what people see first. That's what they use to judge you first. So I really wanted to make sure that it represented exactly where you're going. So I just wanted to like get you out of your head, and I didn't ask you too many questions. Like, I just asked the essentials. I needed, what do you like this? No. Okay. Like that? No. Okay. Because I just wanted to see like what you liked, but ultimately it didn't even matter because I already knew what I was gonna do. So, and she loved it, y'all. No revisions, nothing. The colors were perfect. I wanted to find her a Boujee Boss Media pink. Like when you see that pink, you know it's her. That was my goal, and I feel like that's what we did.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. I mean, I think the B has already become such a staple among the team.
Can you put the B over my face? Like, put the B over my face.
Well, it's already gonna be on the screen, like it, because it's our logo.
But zoom it in.
I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna put in another one. Oh my God, it's so funny. But yeah, no, like I think it's, like I told him, just like this is, I mean, it's giving like $1 billion brand. I mean, and like the
enterprise.
Yeah, I mean, this is like the end goal is for this to like grow into a huge like media conglomerate. So like that's exactly like, in terms of the longevity and the vision, like literally my legacy brand living beyond me even. So yeah, it's been fun, and yeah, she had a lot of fun, and also I'm sure some stress.
I was only stressed because why did you take 5 hours to respond?
Because I
know now, but damn. Like, take a 5-minute break to the bathroom or something.
I didn't even see. She didn't tell me this context of like her thing. I'm thinking she's just like trolleying along her day.
Wasn't at all.
Oh my God.
Every time I send a brand concept, I'm like, hurry up and respond. Like, why do you have a life?
I'm not gonna lie, because I'm like that too. Like, I need immediate reactions. Like,
yeah.
I need immediate feedback.
It was so good.
Oh my gosh. So yeah, it's been super fun. Erica's like the best in the game. I knew for this there was nobody else that I was going to go to. Cause like she was just gonna take it to a whole new level. So yeah, it's been fun. Now, I mean, you've got some other projects in the works. You've got a new series coming up. of course, refined her because she's a refiner, but her, it is her timeless brand. So, tell us like about what inspired this new venture and like what we can expect from it.
So throughout the last 3 years, I feel like people have really wanted to get to know a little bit about my story and how I got to where I am and things like that. And I think that people miss such a big part of it, which is like you have to refine yourself throughout the process of rebranding. You have to, fix your vocabulary as far as like the things you say. The power of life and this is in the power of the tongue. So it's like you can't just be out here saying whatever, like, oh, I'm scared to go live. You don't go to work saying, I'm scared to write this email. No, you have to do the things. Like, so I want to talk about like that process, and I want to talk about all this in the form of a series, our Refiner series, and talk about all the things that led up to success and what I consider success, because I haven't touched $1 million. You would consider maybe $1 million being success, but for me, success is being home. Like, I like being home with my children, and I like living my life. Like, I do what I want whenever I want, and I'm not stressed out about like the next dollar, because I know that it'll come. Not because I'm cocky, but it's because I left it to God. It's already there. So with this Refiner series, I want to talk about that internal refinement that we have to go through to be able to show up in your business in a way that positions your brand as the most obvious option for whatever field you're in. So I just want to like dig a little deeper next year into that.
Yeah, we're gonna have
not next year, this year, because this will come out next year.
This is airing in the beginning of January, 2023. Y'all, we filming this. I've been telling them we filming this in November 2022.
Y'all see how well planned she is? Like for me, I would be, if it's airing October 5th, like I'm doing it October 4th.
Yeah, the season finale airs March 9th, 2023. Yeah, I already have all seasons planned through 2025.
Y'all see this?
It's a blessing and a curse. But yeah, stay tuned for. By the time this airs, like we'll have all the links and all the good stuff around like the Refine Her series and like all that good stuff. And you never know, like Boujee Boss Media may be like helping behind the scenes with it. Please help me out. We've been talking about it because like.
She wants me to make it a whole podcast, but like
no.
There's no way
don't put that on me. Her other followers said they want her to do a podcast. Right. I told her you do whatever you feel is best, but like even when it comes to podcasts, like y'all know there's so many different types, and so I said we get whatever. I'm small brag, big brag. If it's anything media related, I'm an expert in it. Because I got experience across the board beyond podcasts. Like, check my credentials, guys.
Google me, please.
You really can't Google me because my brands will come up.
So will mine. Google us.
Shout out to SEO, okay?
No, but for real. Like, get your SEO together.
Okay. Check my LinkedIn, girl. Oh, my gosh. But yeah, okay. Excited for that. So... we got this new segment. Y'all had heard a little taste of it in yesterday's season premiere, last week's season premiere. It's called Boujee Bible, where the person of the hour shares like one succinct piece of advice for our audience. So, from the chapter of Erica, what Boujee Bible verse do you want to leave with us today?
That was the only question that I was trying to prepare for. And I don't think I prepared for it very well because I still don't know. But what I will say is this. Whether you are a mother, a career girl, whatever it is, you have a man, a hubby, a side piece, whatever you got going on, stop trying to find balance between that and your business. There is no balance, y'all. The only thing that there is harmony. What I mean by harmony is you find what level of comfort is good in this moment. That is harmony. So I'm not going to try to every day make things equal. No. It's either one day I'm going to be 100% mom. Another day I'm going to be 100% CEO. There's days where you have to choose to find harmony in the things. What that looks like is right now we're filming this. My daughter's with me. That's me finding harmony. Being able to bring her. She's here. She's present. But I'm not present with her in the room. But I'm able to find harmony. And I think that comes with being able to decide what is important in this moment, not tomorrow. Because tomorrow, maybe being a CEO is more important. Maybe being a mother is more important. Maybe being a wife is more important. So trying to find harmony between all the aspects of your life is way more important than trying to find balance. Because when you're trying to look for balance, you're trying to like make things all equal. No and you're trying to like find an equilibrium between everything. There is no equal. Such thing. Something's always gonna get. I don't like saying the short end of the stick because I don't like that term. But something is always more important in the moment, not as a whole. So I would say find harmony. Stop trying to find balance.
That's a word. I've literally lived that this week because harmony is I didn't record no episodes on Wednesday and I'm recording 6 today.
Finding what's important. Like,
yeah. I mean, I listen to my body. If you watch the Story Disrupted documentary, you're gonna see the behind the scenes of that. But I listened to my body and my body was just like, we ain't filming today.
Yeah. And I think that's the beauty of being an entrepreneur is like I can choose to stay in bed with my kids all day and that's just what it is. Like nobody's gonna die if they don't get their design like today. Everything will be just fine, but sometimes you have to prioritize yourself, prioritize your children, prioritize your career. It just depends on the moment, not tomorrow or the next day. Just what's important today.
Yes, harmony over balance. That was verses 1 through 20, y'all, and it was lit. Erica Ortiz, let the people know where can we keep in touch with you. What's going on? Where we going?
Where are we going? Well, you can keep in touch with me at Her Timeless Brands. Hopefully, by the time this releases, maybe I'll have a YouTube channel. Maybe I'll have other things. But Her Timeless Brand is where everything can be found. But you can find me sharing more lifestyle content in the next couple months. Sharing more behind the scenes of what it is to be a refiner for others and to also always live in a constant state of refinement within myself and within my business. So if you want to take a sneak peek into some $1 million brands that I'm designing, go and follow me on Instagram.
And she not exaggerating, $1 million brands.
Oh, I have clients that already make $1 million.
Oh, she does. This isn't exaggerate. Go on to her.
Yeah,
go check them credentials.
Yes.
Absolutely. Friend, you were the very first guest of this new era of the podcast.
I'm so honored.
Second episode of the season. Thank you so much for coming on, girl. Make sure you guys stay tuned. Let me know what you think. Let me know everything that Erica said in the comments. Like anything that registered with you. Let me know. Of course, I want to hear about it. I want to see it. Like, let me know in the comments. Let me know in the DMs. Email if you feel led to.
If you feel led to do that.
if you feel led to send a formal email, why don't you go ahead? hi@boujeebusmedia.com. But yeah, as always, stay bougie, stay bossed up, and I will catch you next week. Hold up. Shout out to the Boujee Bop of the week. The Boujee Bop of the week is Brighter by Doe, who is a dope artist. I like based on where I knew Erica was going to be coming from. Like this felt like the perfect song. She is a very bright spirit. And yeah, so shout out to that. And now I'm signing off for real. As always, stay bougie, stay bossed up. I'll catch you next week.
Bye, y'all.
Bye.